We are getting absolutely nowhere. Nothing's working. New engine. We can't see a thing. We're fed up. We're nearly there. What's going on, guys? So it's time to get a new gearbox in the Fiesta today. We've got a new box. Well, I say new, it is second hand. I've had to get one off Facebook in the end. Don't know what sort of mileage is on it. We're gonna well, I'll show you the setup real quick. We've got the whole Iceland crew here today. That's just another spare jacket of mine, don't worry. So we were told it was gonna piss it down today, and it did rain a little bit. It was throwing it down when we woke up, so we rigged up some sort of shelter. Also, let me show you this real quick. We've picked up one of these like engine bay support beams. So actually, funnily enough, the day after I filmed actually dropping the gearbox out, so the second video you will have seen on me removing the gearbox, your man Savage Garage posts up a video of him removing a gearbox from his Skoda project, and he had something like this. It's hopefully going to be helpful for getting it back in, and it's helpful for like supporting the engine while you've disconnected the gearbox. So that's that thing's pretty cool. We've got the car a bit higher, so hopefully I won't have to like remove the bumper or anything to get a gearbox back in, so we've got a lot more height there. So
let's get it.
Let's get it. Get what? Get it in.
Get the day.
Let's get it in.
The day.
Seize the day.
Yeah,
let's get it in. And then we'll play with the gearbox. Right, well, we spent all that time putting that stupid shelter up, and now it's blazing sunshine. It's practically summer, so that was a waste of time. But the gearbox now under the car. We've jacked the car up a bit higher. I've already managed to hurt myself. Shock. So to show you where the gearbox is sat at the minute. It's in position. It just slid under this time. Like, we got the car plenty high enough, and we've got it rigged up. On the other ones, we've got one of these supporting the engine here, because it was supported by a jack before, but when we jacked the car up, thankfully someone here was switched on and said that, hang on, when we jack the car up, is the engine not going to drop lower because it's only supported by that wood? So that was a very good point, because I didn't think about that. And then we've got this one hooked up to the gearbox. We put a bit of tension on it and it's about to lift. Yeah, see, that is lifting that up. Are you going under it? Or?
No, you can go under it. I'm not going under that.
Have I got to go under? Yeah, of course I've got to go under it. Right, so I'll be getting under there. I don't know how high it will be able to get it. Like, I probably will have to wiggle it in myself at some point. We've just, because there's only a certain amount of travel on that threaded bar that goes to the engine support beam, so we've got it up enough to get a jack under it, and then I'm just stabilising that while he winds that back to the top, and then we've got another full thing of travel on that threaded bar, so we can just keep hoisting it up each time. So it might take a while, but hopefully no one's got a, well, as someone called me out for on the Facebook pages, I haven't got to be good at bench press for this. But I could have done it, just to throw that out there, I could have done it. Like, I literally just want to try and bench it in from here, but
you're not going to be able to get the bolts in here.
Well, it doesn't need to. Once I get this shaft seated in, we'd be alright. I think what we're going to have to do is keep winding it up with this, but I'm probably going to have to go, unless you want to go underneath it.
Right, no chance.
No?
I'm not getting that.
One of us is going to, well, it's going to have to be me. I'm going to have to go underneath the gearbox and try and lift it up while we've still got it supported on here. It started raining again, so I'm glad we put this up. But yeah, I'm probably going to end up going underneath the gearbox now as we try and lift this in. So once again, if you're actually watching this, well, maybe he uploaded it, but we're hoping that if you're watching this, I didn't die. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we're going to be able to put that bracket in. There ain't going in, is it? Oh, I'm going to have to wiggle it out, aren't I? It's like it's too far in at the top. The bottom to me, I can't. It looks like it's nearly touching at the top, but at the bottom I've got like an inch and a half gap. Right, we got it in. We got it located. It was a bit of a faff, and it didn't seem to be lining up quite right. I think, like I said when we took it out, there's like little pins in the, which side are they? Are they gearbox side? Or they might be engine side, and they sort of slot into like these little notches in, well, whichever one.
The opposite.
Yeah, the opposite thing, engine, gearbox, whichever. And the bolts actually go through those little notches. They're hollow, and the bolts go through them, so they help like locate it. And what I was noticing was that it was sitting in at the top, but there was a massive gap at the bottom. And when I pushed up from underneath on the engine, yes, I managed to push the engine upwards from lying underneath it. So that guy who called me out on Facebook, yes, I can bench press it. Meet me. No, I'm joking. But we just jacked up or raised the engine a bit on that hoist thing we're using, that support beam. Raised the engine up a little bit, and then it just slotted in. So happy days, we are good to go now. I'm just, where's my diagram gone? I'm just putting these bolts in now. This is the only one you can't get a ratchet on as well, or a ratchet spanner, and it would be the one that's fighting me. You cold? Just try bench pressing an engine in or a gearbox in. Bench pressing. It's because I'm lying on my back. Piss off. Oh, did I tell you? I think I told the viewers last time that on the back of the, I've had a look now, so it's not the sump, it's actually like the crankcase. There's a number written on it from like a breaker's yard. Does that mean it's had potentially new crankcase or new engine or something?
I'd love to know the story behind this car.
Yeah, well, I'd like to know some of the things that have happened to it, maybe not all of them. Hello.
Yeah.
Well, I told you we were getting it done today, so I thought this would speed us up. Right, just to give you a quick update. Shelter's holding up really well, so that's good. Even though it's not really been raining, it's rained a little bit. Anyway, the gearbox is in, sort of. I'm sorry I haven't really been able to show you anything, but we know we haven't got a very long time because of the daylight and the weather being changeable, but essentially all we've done is, so far, is winch up the gearbox with this thing. We've put all the bell housing bolts in around there, so from both sides, from gearbox side, engine side. So all the ones we got from underneath, the two on the top that hold that like bracket in, they're all in. They're not tight yet. We're going to go around those now and tighten those up, which they go to 44 Newton meters. So your man here's got a torque wrench. So we'll torque all those up, and then we're going to work on getting this this bracket on down here, and then it'll just be a case of putting the mounts back on. So the rear engine and transaxle mount, top mount for the gearbox up here. And then I think it's just drive shafts in and then reassemble the bits of the suspension we took apart. And then fill the gearbox up with oil and then we can drive it, hopefully. Oh, we are getting absolutely nowhere.
Done it.
You've done it? What, the clutch line's in?
See, losing your head.
What are you on about? Right, it's cold, it's wet, we're fed up, nothing's working. I suppose we'll just tell you when we've got some more done, but like, get fed up now. I don't know how you're feeling.
I'm alright. I mean, I want it done because I've got stuff to do to mine, but
yeah,
I'm alright.
I literally need this to get to work in like 2 days, so. Clutch line's back in, retaining clips back in that was an arse to get in, but that's in now. Got to go through bleeding the clutch later, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Putting the top mount bracket back in the gearbox now. Next job after we got that top gearbox mount in is this one. Right, all the mounts are back in and all torqued up, so that's good. It's the engine and the gearbox should be situated exactly where they're supposed to be. Your man here is just working on the battery tray. How's that going?
Something's very, very tight, but we'll get there.
What is mine about? Inside joke. We'll explain one day. We flipped a coin, and then even though I won because it's my car, I've got to do the start motor, so I'm not looking forward to that, but that's my next job. And hopefully by the time I've done that, he might have finished tightening that bolt. So check back with you when I've done that. So jumping under here, it's under here somewhere. This is the starter motor here. Like, I'm sorry you cannot even see it, but like that is it. You can just see the cog inside it there, like the teeth of the cog.
Right, I've done your lower arm and your track rod, your drive shafts in. How you feeling about everything now, Mike?
I feel a lot brighter about the situation. Okay, quick update. So both drive shafts are back in. I love how you left the bungee cord on it. I've done the starter motor wiring. As you can see, it is pitch black outside now. It's only about 6 o'clock, something like that. What time is it? 10 past 5. So we've still got quite a bit to do. Like, we've still got to put all the top of the air filter and stuff back on. We've still got to fill the gearbox with fluid, bleed the clutch, put the wheels on, and just a few other bits to check. But we just wanted to let you know where we're up to. Right, so time for the next step towards getting this Fiesta on the road. We've got some gearbox oil, we've got a funnel and a long hose. And Ash is down there somewhere. Oh, there you go. You can just see his hands.
Good to go.
He's undone. Oh, you can just see that bolt. It's just taken out and put on that bit of wood down there. So we're going to feed. That's the fill bolt, fill plug, whatever you want to call it, for the gearbox. So we're just going to feed this hose down here. That goes in there.
There we go. I'm dying for a shower.
I was just thinking about shower.
Yeah, I'm like cold and gross.
Yeah, it's coming. No, yeah, it definitely is now.
Oh, yeah, I can see it now.
Yeah.
We're nearly there, but my God, it's pitch black outside. We can't see a thing. I'll take you out there now and show you what's going on, but there's nothing really to see. So we had to bleed the clutch. We're just getting the battery on now. Yeah, the clutch is bled. It's pretty much. I've never bled a clutch before, but as far as we could tell from what we saw online and what we actually did, it was a bit like bleeding the brakes. There's a little oh, at least spirits are still high. You know where we took the clutch feed line out? Next to it there was another little bit, and that was had a little bung on it. Take that off, put a pipe on there, put it into like a bottle or something, and then you just kind of open. There's no one of them retaining clips. You pop that off, and then you just turn like a little valve. You turn it by hand. It's a bit of a pain, but we did that. A little bit of fluid comes out, a bit of air, but the fluid is running fine. We didn't actually have any brake fluid to top up the reservoir. You still got to do that. It's the same reservoir as the brake fluid goes in. So we siphoned some, or used a turkey baster and nicked some out of my Honda because that's off the road. So I need to pick up some brake fluid and bleed the clutch properly probably, but we really want to take this for a drive, so we've got that in. There's water collecting on top of this tarp, so drain that off, bleed that off as well. Battery in.
Yeah, we just need the cover on the gearbox now.
Battery's on, look out. Just got to put the front cover on the gearbox, put the wheels on, and then we done.
Yeah.
Hey, we're nearly done! And it's only 2:30 in the morning. No, I'm only joking. It's just really dark. It's, what time is it? It's probably like 6:30. It's probably like 6:30.
It's about 7 o'clock now.
7 o'clock, there we go then. Right, Fiesta is back together. We've eaten, finally. We've had a shower, finally. So
It's 11 o'clock, finally.
Oh yeah, it's quite late. So we are gonna, we are gonna take it for a quick drive just to see, well, if it'll start. It is quite late. but we're dying to check. Never mind, car wouldn't start. Don't know what it was, but it's too late now. We can't go out there again and start messing with it again. You can hear like the starter motor clicking. I don't know whether it's just not got enough power or what it is. So it could just be that we need to give the battery a little bit of a charge. It's a bit late to do it now, so we might try and give it a jump in the morning. Resistance could be too high for whatever reason, like, I don't know, we've got a weak connection somewhere, or something's not earthed properly, or, you know, just a loose wire or something like that. We have checked all the wiring. We made sure we checked it all before we put it all back together, so we don't think it's that. It's looking like it could be that voltage thing, so like I say, we'll try and give the car a jump in the morning, and hopefully that sorts it out. Figured out why it wouldn't start. I've been out here all day. What time is it now? Past 4, isn't it? It's past 4, and we started this morning, like, what, 10?
9. We were out here at 9.
Jesus. So we've been out here for the best part of, what, 7 hours, and now we finally know what's wrong with the car and why it won't start. Needs a new starter motor, but it's like the wiring at the back. I thought, oh, we'll disconnect it all and see if we can get it out and have a look at it, or see if we can reseat it. Maybe it's not seated in properly or something like that. And then when I went to take the wiring off, one of the studs that you, like, put a nut onto, the stud was wobbling. It was pointing out at a right angle. So, I wiggled it a bit and it literally just snapped off. We're trying to wiggle the starter out through here. Throttle bodies had to come off. I've undone a load of wiring, like all the wiring that runs up across where this has got to come out, like out to the injectors and all that sort of stuff. So we're just trying to, this is it down here. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, so like it's just a case of wiggling that thing out, but it is massive. Starter motors are huge things. Just got to the end of this video and realised that I didn't have any sort of ending to it really, so here you go. It's coming at you now months later, but who cares. Anyway, so we found out that starter motor is absolutely stuffed. We're going to have to get another one, so I've got one of them on the way and you're going to see that in the next video. As always, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time, and hopefully we'll finally be able to drive this car. Come on. Right, see you next time.